everybody. Assalamu alaikum. We are back.
Welcome.
It's Thursday again. You know what that means. That means that we are live with another edition of Nothing But the Truth with
Brother Jamil.
and Sister Tisha. We got more going on today than, man, this is a good idea for us to come back. This is one of those guests that's not really a guest
Right.
that we have today. And when I present him to you, you'll be glad to see him again, to listen to him again, and to reflect with him again about the goodness of the opportunities that are available to all of us. So we welcome you in. You know the routine. We see our brother Arthur Muhammad. He's with us from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Always good to see you, brother. We know you share every week. And the Pine Bluff crew, when you check in, make sure you let us know that you're there. But that Pine Bluff crew is ready. They are serious every week. We want to welcome Miss Denise Lewis. That's mother-in-law. Mother-in-law. That's a Eddie K. Doe, Ernie K. Doe song from New Orleans. It's real. I didn't make it up. But it.
Hey, Mama.
Yes, it's there. So our family's here, the whole family, not just the kinfolk by blood, but we're all here tonight, kinfolk in the spirit of joy and happiness and fulfillment.
Beautiful.
And in a world like this, we need some fulfillment.
Absolutely.
We got to see some stuff. I'm glad to see that my sister Katina's in the room from Dallas, Texas.
That's
so glad. She says she's so glad our guest is back, and we are too. We'll present him to you in just a moment. He's ready and loaded for bear, as they say. Hey, Patricia's on there. Hey, sister-in-law.
Hey,
She's
Trish.
with us from Dallas, Texas. Also from Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Dave C. That's right, Big Dave C. Checking in from staring at the clock. He's staring at the clock. He's ready to pray and break fast. And we understand, brother. We know that Ramadan is real.
He's a little thirsty.
And to all of you who are observing the holy month of fasting, Ramadan Mubarak. That's wrong.
Brother Dave, let the Lord use you.
That is wrong for you to sip on that cup like that. And you got your Nana cup. I didn't have I need to get my pop cup out of but I didn't have it. I just got the plain brother. So we're going to make do with what we have. Tonight, you all know the ropes. You know how it goes. Sister Tisha is going to give you some rules. I'm going to come back into the comment section, deal with those comments that are here. I'm going to let our mystery man leave me off camera while Sister Tisha breaks it down. And then I'm going to go back and get something else to add to my equipment. So I give you now the world's most beautiful co-host, the one who, well, this is how I feel about it. Sister Tisha.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another exciting edition of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We are so glad to have you here. We are so glad that you came to spend your evening with us, at least an hour of it, okay? But what we need you to do is remember to go on over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Once you hit that, don't forget to hit the little bell, the notification. So that way, every time we go live, you'll be notified, right? So you want to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and subscribe. Yes, but share the podcast as well so we can get it on out to others. Then you also want to go over and do the same on Facebook. Look for the page, Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Like, share, and subscribe. All right. Back to, he's not back. All right. And then, let me just keep going. All right. So usually also, I tell you later on, but we'll just switch stuff around because, you got to be ready to stick and move. If you're interested in giving a love donation towards the building of this platform, you can do that as well by making a donation to our Cash App, which is $BRO Works, Bro Works, BROWORKS. And then all donations that we receive under that go towards the platform. All right. Are you back, Hamid?
No, I'm not
He's
back.
back. He's back.
I'm not
Mystery man.
But I want to tell you, everybody that's coming on into the room, thank you for that announcement. But you can't do this kind of broadcast without your teeth. And so I needed to step off. What? No? Too much information? Okay. But I wanted to go and make sure my dental stuff was in order. You know me, so I could smile unreservedly. We want to welcome back to the broadcast our brother Derek 3X is with us. He says, Assalamu alaikum from Rahway, New Jersey, by way of New York City, the most beautiful city in the world. And all non Cincinnatians may have that opinion, but we know the truth. And we want to make sure we have all the other folks gathered. And Dave C reminds you that when I'm gone, you can go ahead on the rap whenever you get
Yes,
ready. You know, you could rap, you could have done your George Michael, but you missed that
I
opportunity.
did. It'll come
And
again.
so it's over for tonight. We want to welcome our brother Sean Ali, author of 33 different books, a healer, a researcher, a motivator, a gardener, a businessman. He's been a guest on our show. And you see, we are building a family here.
Yes.
This family reaches all the way from Southern Maryland to Atlanta to Texas, back up to Massachusetts, out to California. And you know it reaches down to Memphis, Tennessee. And that's where our guest tonight hails from and where he works from. And that's his base. He is one of the assistant ministers there at Mosque number 55 for our dear brother Abdul Bakr Muhammad. But I want you to know that my brother is doing things on a grand scale. His new book is out. If we can show that new book after we show our brother's beautiful photograph, there it is, Ramadan 2022. This is a guide to study, to spiritual reflection, and even to a beautiful historical connection that Brother Demetric will tell you about when he comes before the microphones. But student minister Demetric is a great brother. You can reach him on researchminister.com.
Mhm.
He's on the national research team of the Nation of Islam. On Minister Farrakhan's direct order, they research what he asks them to research. And he said to us the last time he was here, research follows revelation. What a beautiful place to be in the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. Let's welcome back to these microphones with no further delay our brother from Memphis, Tennessee, brother student minister, Demetric Muhammad. Brother Demetric, there he is. He's in the waiting room, and we are glad to see you. How are you tonight, dear brother?
Brother, I'm fine by Allah's grace and mercy. Very happy and very honored to once again be on the platform, Nothing But the Truth, with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha.
Well, we greet you with the greetings of Assalamu alaikum, and we are glad to
Wa
receive you.
alaikum salam.
Let's get right to it, brother. The comments are going to flow. We know that people are liking the program. We know they're engaging. We know they're sharing. We know they're doing all the things that teacher told you to do. Go over to YouTube and subscribe. All that's going on. But our guest is here, and I must ask the question. Brother, I could ask you what you've been working on, but it's easier to say, what have you not been working on?
Right.
Because brother has
It's
a very prolific output as an author, as a journalist, as an op-ed columnist, as a minister, as a chaplain, as a father. He is a brother and a friend. And so, brother, you're busy. Tell us what's been occupying your time lately.
Well, Brother Student Minister Jamil and Sister Tisha, we are so happy to join the nearly 2 billion Muslim brothers and sisters, our co-religionists, our brothers and sisters of the faith, to take this period of time of 30 days to have the holy month of Ramadan as a primary focus for our life, as I work with many of our brothers and sisters who are in what has been dubbed inside the belly of the beast, the American prison system. We do a lot during this time of the year to ensure that our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, believers in Islam, are able to practice the Ramadan fasting that is the command of Allah. It is the fourth of the 5 pillars of Islam. In addition to that, as you pointed out, for the last 5 years, we have endeavored to make a volume available for the larger community of Muslims, particularly those of us who are students of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in a Ramadan Quranic reading journal and
Yes.
historical digest. And so these days, everything is about Ramadan,
right.
whether we are incarcerated as a result of our violation of statutory laws of the land, or those of us in the so-called free world who are incarcerated in a prison of sin.
Mm.
So this is something of a framework out of which my work tends to operate during this period of time each and every year. And we are very happy to be fasting. We're very happy to be of some support and some aid to the fasting Muslims again, whether they are here or a part of the incarcerated population.
Wow, that's amazing. Growing from a chaplaincy perspective, serving brothers and sisters who are incarcerated and who have very few of the advantages of the so-called free world that you talked about. I noticed that you had mentioned the Quranic Reading Journal and Historic Digest, right? Tell us how the Historic Digest part of that comes in, as far as what we will be reading when we get this.
Well, as you know, Brother Minister, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in one of his early communiques to the ministry class of the Nation of Islam, he wrote a letter. And in that letter, he said that history is above all our studies and is best qualified to reward our research. He said that history helps us to understand the springs and motives of human actions. And he even told us that there are people who are born with the gift of prophecy, but there are others who develop that gift due to a serious and intense study of the cyclical nature of history. So history is very powerful. And unfortunately, many folk in the world of religion don't have a good enough appreciation for the power of history. But I always reflect upon the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in that letter, because he helps us to see the deep and profound relationship between history and prophecy. And
Yes, sir.
so the Historical Digest gives to us a glimpse and a window into the Nation of Islam's history, especially its history where the religion of Islam is concerned.
Mm.
So many people know of us due to our social activism, if you will.
Mhm.
They know the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a champion for freedom, justice, and equality. But we wanted to showcase our spiritual side, and we wanted to excavate from the archives historical material that places the Nation of Islam not outside of the pale of Islam, but at the center of it.
Yes, sir. At the very center, the epicenter, if you will, because this, I remember I'm reflecting on something, and I'm sure you were in class that day, in a ministry class, when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talked to us from Surat al-Baqarah, the second surah of the Quran, and he talked about our way of devotion. Very important. He said our way of devotion in the Nation of Islam, and he talked about it from the second surah where Abraham and Ishmael are laying the foundation for the Kaaba. Please stop me, brother, if I err. But they ask a prayer of Allah, and they say, "Please, dear Allah, raise up a nation from us submissive to thee, and show them or show us our way of devotion." Could you touch on how your latest projects, and we'll come back to the journalistic project in just a moment, but could you touch about how your way of writing accentuates our particular way of devotion in the Muslim community worldwide?
Well, you know, brother, I never thought about it like that, but that's a beautiful way of describing what we are attempting to do. We want to be an instrument that edifies and strengthens men and women of faith. And we want to be an instrument that encourages and facilitates those who have yet to come to faith to make that transition.
Yes.
And so we have taken as our example, of course, our illustrious teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has described his ministry as a synthesis. And when I think about synthesis, I think about how Allah gives to us a parable from nature in the Holy Quran when it talks about the bee in the 16th surah. And that surah begins intriguingly because it describes the bee as being a recipient of divine revelation. For Allah says that he reveals to the bee where to build his hives and his nests. And the bee goes about taking different aspects. I don't remember if it's the pollen or the nectar, but I know that he goes to flowers, he goes to plants, and he takes a little bit of something from each flower and each plant. Then he goes back to the hive, and we could say that he synthesizes what he has extracted, and he produces what the Quran refers to as a healing beverage, which we know to be honey.
Yes, sir.
And of course, medical science and biological science has proven that honey has curative properties, that it has medicinal properties. And so we try to be in that way because we have seen Minister Farrakhan do that. He gives to us not just rote and dogma, but he has given to us in his magnificent delivery of the word of God a window into science,
Yes.
an appreciation for history, a proper view of current events in popular culture. So we try to bring those elements into what we write, but the overarching goal is we want to be a help to men and women of faith to hold on to their faith in such a trying time as the days and times in which we live.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I know, Tisha, you have your questions and you're ready to go. Please go right ahead, and I'll come back later. But this is already stimulating us. Remember, go in the comments section, ask your question. But I'm going to give it to the greatest anchor woman in the world, Sister Tisha.
Well, as you were talking, I was just listening and reflecting as on what you were saying, and I can totally agree. And I thank you for your writings and your journals and your teaching because you make it so plain and easy to understand. Sometimes when you're new in the faith, whichever faith it is, sometimes people tend to talk over, right? They forget that this may be something new that you're hearing for the first time, and they talk in terms that they think that they forget that the new person coming in may not quite get. But when I read your books and your articles, it's easy to grasp. It's easy to understand, and it makes me want to learn more. So I thank you for that. That's a
All
that's a
praise is
great
due to
thing.
Allah.
Because at times it was hard to keep my interest. I wanted to know, but then I would lose interest because if I just didn't comprehend what was happening. So you're doing a good job with that. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah.
And it works for us old fossils too.
Mhm,
People who have been
mhm.
around a long time and who may have become ossified in one way of thinking or another. But for the curious, if there's any curiosity, natural, childish curiosity. When I say childish, I don't mean that pejoratively. I mean that children are naturally curious and precocious. If you retain any of that, then Brother Demetric's writings are for you.
Mhm.
I want to reference, dear brother, before we go to the comment section and take some questions from there. But I do want to ask, in this week's edition of the Final Call, the April 26th edition that's on the streets and news shelves now, you have an article where you talk about the wonderful once every 33-year occurrence of the overlap of three major observances in the world's three major monotheistic faiths. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and what that means for us in this time?
Well, you know, we thought that this occurrence of the overlapping of Ramadan, of Easter, and Passover, the three high holy observances of Muslims, Christians, and Jews, we just thought that it shouldn't just pass by without us pausing to reflect over the importance and the significance of it. And certainly, as a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that's the lens through which we look out and see the world in which we live. And I was reminded of the rebuilding work of the Nation of Islam that the minister was able to achieve, being guided certainly by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and Allah. But the way that the minister did it, this year's overlapping of Ramadan, Easter, and Passover, caused me to reflect upon it because, as you know, Brother Jamil, I, like most of us who have become students of the minister, our background in religion and faith primarily is the Black church.
Yes, sir.
And that is where Minister Farrakhan found most of us.
Yes, sir.
And we were not looking to leave the church, but we were so enamored and really bowled over by his command of the biblical scriptures, especially his unique and matchless ability to show us the struggle of Black people in America for justice right inside of the pages of the Bible.
Yes.
And so this year to me makes me to think about the work of my teacher, especially the early days of the rebuilding, when you would frequently see Minister Farrakhan teaching from the Final Call building in Chicago.
Yes.
And you might see some of the brothers and sisters from the Hebrew community of Rabbi Ben Ami.
Yes,
You
sir.
would see Asiel Ben Israel, his representative, and others. You would see brothers and sisters from the street organizations. You would see pastors and Christian clergy. You would even see Muslims from the Eastern world, as I remember seeing Sheikh Tijani at the Final Call building
Yes, sir.
on some of those old lectures. And there were even imams from Canada that came to visit the minister there. So
Yes,
again,
sir.
the minister, as a man who brings harmony, you know, he's so maligned and slandered as being a person who is a source of discord. But we know that the history of the minister destroys that kind of propaganda, because over and over again, before this 33-year occurrence of overlapping of holy days, the minister has literally caused Jews, Hebrews, Christians, Muslims, men and women of goodwill to overlap one another in embraces of brotherhood, in environments of learning and the sharing of knowledge. And most importantly, we have partnered many times to work in the vineyard of God, where our people need men
Yes.
and women of faith to go and to not just preach to them, but to embrace them with love and teach them the word of truth.
You're listening to my brother and yours, Student Minister Demetric Muhammad, the National Research Team, and the Student Ministry at Mosque number 55 in Memphis, Tennessee. He's with us tonight, and he'll be with us for the entire run. So, Tisha, your next question, let's go at it. We'll come back to the comments as soon as we can. Go ahead, Tisha.
It's more of a statement. I was thinking, and you kind of touched on it, Brother Demetric, when you were closing your statements. As you were talking, I was thinking that it's a little bit odd, a little bit different for the Christians, the Muslims, and the Jewish faith to all be celebrating their holy days at the same time. And it just, to me, in my head, I said, that just bears witness what we already knew. There is but one God.
That's right.
And whatever name you call him, our instructions are to praise him, follow him, in whatever religion that is. So we're all at the same time celebrating God.
Yes.
We're really no different. We're no different. This is just bear witness to me and confirm this is the time for everybody to unite.
Yes.
What's the differences? What are we fighting for? There is no need to do it. That's what I thought when you were speaking. That was kind of powerful,
Yes.
to me at least. So
All praise is due to Allah. You know, the minister has said that the reason why men and women of faith so at odds with one another is because Satan's primary target is not the non-believer, but Satan's primary target is the believer.
Mm.
And I remember hearing the minister say that Allah has been so merciful to the human family, sending or raising prophets and messengers to people to guide them to his straight path. And he said that whenever the prophet or the messenger passed from the scene, Satan went into the prophet's community seeking to divide them and to make them enemies of one another. And so I, again, am so grateful for the noble example of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the noble example of even our brother, Imam Warathuddin Muhammad,
Yes.
Rabi Ben Ami, the likes of Bishop George Augustus Stallings, and
Come on now.
Reverend James Bevel.
Call it.
See, the real story of Minister Farrakhan is that here in the Western Hemisphere, he has been the axis around which a magnificent demonstration has been made that really is an example for our brothers and sisters in the Eastern Hemisphere. And while we are talking about how marvelous this period of time where these great religious observances are overlapping one another, in many parts of the world, it has not been an occasion of celebration, but been an occasion where Jews and Christians and Muslims have actually come to violence against one another. But right here in America, in the Western Hemisphere, we can truly say that the sun of truth has risen. For even though we have theological differences, we have religious differences.
Yes, sir.
We have found a path of what Dr. King kind of coined a phrase. He talked about operational unity. And the minister has been a proponent of that operational unity. And over again, we see the ability of those of us in the church, those of us in the mosque, those of us in the synagogue to come together around shared interests, around a common agenda to work for a common good.
Beautiful.
No doubt about it. Tisha, and what's happening now? What's going on? I see so much happening in the comment section. I'm looking back at the keyboards. Brother Minister Demetric, I don't know. Take it over.
We're going to get ready to go into the bottom of the hour in just a moment. But I had seen a comment from Sister Gina Tay earlier. Maybe we can touch on that when we get back from the bottom of the hour. She says, oops, I went away from it. The need for our children to understand is important. I appreciate his lectures being written in a manner where our youth can understand and dissect the information as well. So she speaks to what I was saying earlier too. You make it so plain. You make us want to learn, and I appreciate that. Right. At this time, everybody, I want to remind you not to touch that dial. You know what time it is.
Dial this one.
Just don't touch anything. Don't worry about the dial. That was just a saying. Just don't touch. Sit back. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right. We'll be right back. It is time for the bottom of the hour. We're going to take a quick little break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
We are back with more information from Nothing But the Truth with
Brother Jamil
and Sister Tisha.
That's right.
Today, we're moving something in a way that we haven't in months. That's because the weather's warm, it's sunny, and it's time to get up and shake something loose. Not hard, but shake something loose and move, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm so excited to get out here and shake a tail feather in
No,
the night.
you're not going to be doing that. No.
Shake
That's what you're not going to do.
Shake something
No.
loose?
No. I meant something medical.
Okay.
May Allah bless you all to move something. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay out here in the fight. Keep moving all the time.
You can do it.
You can do it.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Shake tail feathers anywhere around here. Okay, don't do it.
I thought maybe what Tina said.
No, Katina said no.
Not Katina, Tina.
No.
As in Turner.
Oh no, Tina as in Turner. No, This is a broadcast. We serious about things that we do over here. Brother Demetric don't be doing no smiling. You know we can't be doing that when he's around here. Listen, we got more. We promised you we go right back into the discussion. We have a question on board from our sister Gina Tay, who asked a question about accessibility for youth of the teachings. And we also have with us tonight, as if on cue, our music director just chimed into the comment section, the great brother Gary Muhammad of Bloomington, Illinois, whose guitar work is the theme music that you hear at the beginning and end of this program. And that's brother Gary Muhammad. And so he's there for us. But yeah, we have lots to talk about, brother Minister Dimitri. How do you keep it fresh for the youth like that? How do you do that?
It's always a struggle. It's always a challenge because we are competing for the attention of our youth. And oftentimes we are up against Satan, whose means and methods are always technologically advanced. But I'm reminded of the scripture that speaks of the work of Elijah. Elijah is a figure in all of these religious observances that we've talked about, especially at Passover. But Elijah, his work is described as being a work in the scripture of bringing the hearts of the fathers to the children and bringing the hearts of the children to the fathers. And I think about this often when I look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is the producer of the Nation of Islam's National Sunday webcast.
Yes, sir.
And one of the remarkable things that I know a lot of our brothers and sisters will notice is that unlike a lot of religious services that happen on Sunday or any day of the week, you see that production that the minister is putting out before the world with many young people as well as older people. And they don't appear to be in competition with one another.
Right.
They don't appear to be adversarial in terms of their relationship, but you see that kind of harmony that we really need to have spread throughout the community. And I think that it has a lot to do with good old-fashioned, simple, mutual respect.
I love it.
And
Yes.
the minister has always personified the highest degree of respect for youth, as well as the highest degree of respect for elders. You can see photos of the minister. There's a beautiful photo of the minister sitting at the feet of the brother of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Supreme Minister John Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
And it's just such a touching photo. But then where the youth are concerned, you can see the minister in another beautiful photo bowing to children. So this is a man whose ministry is imprinted by when we see the gap or the divide that Satan has put between the elders and the youth become closed. And it's just a marvelous thing to see.
Yes, indeed. I think you hit it right on the head, sir, when you talked about how the generations do not appear to be competitive against one another. There is a cooperation in the cause. And I think that is remarkable to see. In fact, we're going to be doing some stuff at the end of this program. We're going to all move over. You know how we do on Thursday nights. We just move right on over to Elevated Places with Dr. Ava Muhammad. And that program tonight is a very special program. Imam Sultan Rahman Muhammad, our national student imam from Chicago, along with Minister Carlos and others, they'll be on Dr. Ava's radio program tonight talking about what you're talking about tonight, brother, the deeper significances of Ramadan, the holy fast of the Muslims. One of the things that I want to talk about, and we'll flash that information up on the screen before too long has gone by, but one of the things that fascinated me most about the Quranic Reading Journal and Historic Digest was that you have a daily entry for every day during the month of Ramadan. On that particular date, you have a writing by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from some point in history, from the Pittsburgh Courier, from the Los Angeles Sentinel, from the Muhammad Speaks, from other articles or interviews that he's done. And every day we get insight into the mind of the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam. How did you do it? What inspired that idea? And tell us a little bit about some of the things that excited you most presenting that portion of the book.
You know, my passion, Brother Student Minister Jamil, has always been the word,
Yes,
the
sir.
teachings. In my coming into consciousness, as we say, accepting my own, I was not in a metropolis. I was not in a mosque. I was in a cotton field, literally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what I had to nurse from is the word, and that love for the word of Allah that has come to us through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, remains, and it's stronger today than it has ever been, as I see the 6 o'clock news and the headlines of the newspapers and all of the events that are taking place today as witness bearers to what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the minister have given to us long in advance of these events and happenings taking place. And so we have had, as a part of our work on the research team of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we have put together probably the largest collection of the original writings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have all of the 642 editions of the Muhammad Speaks newspaper,
Wow.
all of the Pittsburgh Courier, all of the
642.
Westchester Observer.
642 issues.
Yes, sir. And so we are able to see that by Allah's grace, almost for every calendar day in the year, you can find an article that was published on that date by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so this guidance, you know, Ramadan is the celebration of revelation,
Yes, sir.
the revelation of the Holy Quran. Well, that took place 1443 years ago. But what's unique about our expression of Islam in America is that we bear witness that there's a new revelation that is a confirmation of that earlier revelation, and it has been tailor-made to the condition of suffering of Black people in America, and it's found in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when you have that which came to Prophet Muhammad being borne witness to, buttressed and supported by that which has come to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you really are preparing yourself for a very rewarding journey of faith, but you're also preparing yourself to survive these troubled times. And so I think that the Holy Quran, coupled with the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, really outfits the believer for success in life and for surviving a time where many, many women are finding themselves day by day more and more confused.
Yes.
And I have to bear witness. I don't read the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's words and walk away confused.
That's
I
right.
read what he has given to us,
Mhm.
and I walk away with joy in my heart and feeling like I understand the tumultuous times in which we live.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And so you all can hear as you come in the comment section. I see you, Sister Deidre from Huntsville, Alabama. Sister Latrice from Washington, D.C. She says a wonderful workbook for Ramadan. Sister Amina P. Muhammad from Boston, Brother Demetric. She says, Ramadan Mubarak, Assalamu alaikum, family. Thank you for bringing on such awesome speakers on your platform. So we are here. Oh, there's Minister Mark, Student Minister Mark from Springfield, Ohio, our dear brother, and my sister-in-law, Shantae, who reminds us that she knows where to get some feathers. Okay.
Awesome.
And so that's great. That's great. We love to see the family here. Brother, I'm going to ask the mystery man to put up the flyer for where we're all going at 9 o'clock. And we're going to switch over at 9 o'clock. Some of you will still be eating a bowl of soup. At 9 o'clock Eastern tonight, we will catch the second and more hour of this great broadcast on Elevated Places with Ask Dr. Ava Muhammad, Brother Terrence Muhammad, and Sister Pamela Muhammad and the crew there, tonight's very special guest, dealing with the subject of discipline of self, blessings of the fast of Ramadan, our brother, student Imam Sultan Rahman Muhammad, back and strong as ever. Matter of fact, even stronger. He's getting some stuff happening. You have a chance to support all of this information. And like Brother Demetric has written, this is a great spiritual time when all of these programs and this information and this good word is overlapping. It's touching and agreeing, as they used to say in church, when we all
Yes.
touch and agree,
Yes.
all hearts quiet and all minds clear, then we have the ability now to relate to one another in a very, very crucially necessary way. So at 9 o'clock, grab your coffee cup, get your bottle of water, join Brother Demetric and Sister Tisha and myself. We'll be over there. We'll be making sure that everybody has a place to hear Dr. Ava. When you get there, let them know where you came from. You came straight from Nothing But the Truth with who?
What's your name? Brother Jamil.
Yeah, and that lady over
My
there.
bad.
And that lady over there.
No,
But we-
listen. I was paying attention, but really, I don't know why. Allah help me to get it out. But my mind is just going.
Mhm.
And what's happening, what I'm thinking about as I hear you speak,
Mhm.
Brother Minister, is about the youth. I don't know why the youth is so on my forefront tonight. And what's going on. And we know that Ramadan is a time for us to do a reset, right? To get back on track. And I guess Allah help me. I did a personal reset for myself. There were so many things I said that I couldn't do. I can't do this. And Jamil kept reminding me, just try, just do it. Allah desires ease for you, right? And so this Ramadan, I reset and I'm learning a bunch of things that I'm able to do with Allah's help, and I'm thankful for it. But I keep thinking about our youth and how we have to be there for them, right? We have to be serious about our walk and what we're doing. We have to reset and get serious about our walk because they're watching us. And I'm thinking about how so many of the youth, and I'm not just talking about the little babies, the teens, the young adults, they're saying now that they're spiritual, right? But they don't profess to anything. I'm not Muslim, I'm not Christian, I'm not Jewish, I'm just spiritual. But this Ramadan, all three of those faiths were studying their celebrating their holy days at the same time. It's just something is just telling me that it's time to unite. And we have to get serious as the adults about our faith walk, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, you have to live that because our youth is watching us. We have to be like the Sankofa birds, look back and go and get them because they're looking for something, right? They may not know what it is. And sometimes they're looking at us and we're not, maybe not fully doing what we're supposed to be doing. And so they're like, yeah, no, that's not it. But this is it. This is it.
Yeah,
So we should
yeah.
take this time to reset, dig. I don't know. I'm so deep on dig deep and reset for yourself. Whatever that means to you, reset it, get it right. Because the youth is waiting on us.
I think you bring a powerful and important point up, Sister Tisha. You know, again, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said that the youth, they are a messianic generation. They are prepared for the Messiah. And I go back to respect. A lot of times as elders or parents, we feel that we know the way, and certainly we should. But if our feeling that we know the way causes us to invalidate the perspectives, the viewpoint, and even the experiences of people younger than us, then we will never be successful in sharing the knowledge that we have with them, because that's what we really want. We really want to create teachable moments. And you can't have a teachable moment when you're trying to force what you know on someone that is not in any position to receive it. And I think as you talk about how many youth today, they self-identify as being spiritual and not religious.
Yes.
I think that is a witness bearer to why the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said that the youth have been prepared by the circumstances and the conditions of their life for the Messiah. And the reason why I say that is this: the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that old Christianity
Mm-hmm.
would one day die a natural death.
Yes, sir.
He
And one
also
day,
said that old
I-
world Islam
Mm-hmm.
would also go away, and the only thing that would remain would be the principles.
yes, sir.
Right.
Now, we never thought perhaps that we would see a period of time when groups like the Pew Research Center, who study religion and religious trends and phenomenon, would show that religious participation is waning
Yeah.
while belief in God is waxing. Now, look at what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in his teachings. He used the term God and scientist interchangeably. And that's unique because for most of the history of religion, science and religion were polar opposites. People in the world of science, they didn't believe in God.
Right.
People who believed in God didn't believe in science.
Right.
Yes,
Yet
yes,
we see this idea again of a synthesis, and what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad provided for us right there, the bringing together of faith and science, of belief and knowledge, of
yes,
reason, as well as spirituality. So
yes,
I
sir.
think that what I'm saying is that what he gave to us was preparation for a time like this, when people would be backing away from traditional Islam. People
Yes.
would be backing away from
Yes, sir.
traditional Christianity. People would even be backing away from traditional Judaism, yet they maintain a strong belief in their higher power.
Yes,
So I
sir.
think there's an opportunity for those of us who are students of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to really impact our youth. And you can see that over the history of the world's leading, or the world's number one youth culture, which is hip hop.
Yes,
The
yes,
influence of the minister has been all throughout saturating hip hop, especially in the early days, but even up until now. And it just shows that there's an opportunity there for this great message that started as a message to the black man in America, but is now a message to all of humanity. There's an opportunity for that message to be very impactful in changing negative behaviors among young people toward positive outcomes.
Yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm smiling tonight, brother, because not only because I'm proud of you as an individual and as a person, I remember you coming to the door of the mosque. Big, tall, handsome, raw bone country boy, smart as a whip, and dedicated to the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the help of the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And you remain that today, more sophisticated, more articulate, more well developed. But I can see the growth in you that you're talking about for our youth. And when you talk about that for our youth, I know you're not just talking and bumping your gums. You're talking about what it is that you do from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Tisha and I were talking earlier about the inspiration of believers who survive rough times and who have made it through difficult circumstances and situations and yet remained steadfast and patient under trial.
Uh-huh.
And if this is you in the audience, I didn't know I was talking to you, but since we're talking, let me just say this. This man on our program tonight, Brother Student Minister Demetric Muhammad, is a man who has come up the rough side of the mountain, if you don't mind me saying, my dear brother, and has scaled the heights of this work of Islam. And he's got some more climbing to do, just like you do. What keeps you inspired, brother? What keeps you moving? What keeps you so productive and so prolific and so profound?
I don't know if I can answer that, Brother Student Minister Jamil, because at this point, it's all that I know, you know. And if I were to be just really candid about it, I would have to say that there's no greater inspiration and that there has been no greater influence on my life than our illustrious teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, especially as we have been blessed to work personally with him now for more than a decade, and being able to see our beloved minister in so many different settings, so many different circumstances, and just to be really a witness to his steadfastness. You know, in the English translation of the Holy Quran, frequently the word steadfast
Yes,
is
sir.
used
Yes, sir.
to describe the believing men and women. And I have to say that if any of us would be looking for inspiration, the minister is a great place to look, because he has been so steadfast, even being in agonizing physical pain,
Yes, sir.
even having the same family challenges that we all go through, even being concerned about the welfare of his children.
My
And,
goodness.
you know, I mean, everything that we go through, he goes through it, yet we never see him shrink away from his duty. We never see him retreat. We never see him withdraw. We never see him get weak or
Yes.
pliant, as
Yes.
Allah says in the Holy Quran when it talks about the hypocrites and the disbelievers. They wish that thou would be pliant. Whenever we hear the minister, you would never know that he has personal challenges.
Right.
You would never know that there are things that concern him deeply. He is an inspiration of how to be a believer and how to persist
Yes.
through the
Yes.
vicissitudes of life, the ups and downs of life, the challenges, the pain, the suffering, the
Talking.
joys, the happiness.
You're talking now.
He just continues.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I loved him when I was looking at him from afar. I love him more being able to see him up close and personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I draw inspiration from a lot of people. I mean, I love to sit down sometimes, Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha, and listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes, or
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yes.
listen to some old G.E. Patterson. I mean, I'm just going to,
GE.
you know,
I-
I love to hear the word of God preached and preached
Yes,
well,
sir.
and those brothers do it well.
Yes.
Mhm.
But my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in my eyes, is superior in that he is a man that has had to undergo not just the hatred of the enemy, but he's had to undergo taking the stripes and the slings and arrows of his people who have
Outrageous
misunderstood
person.
him. And yet he always finds a way to love. He
Yes, sir.
always finds a way to forgive. He always finds a way to give, even to those who have spoken evil of him. I mean, the
Absolutely.
minister is just such an extraordinary inspiration that, you know, if I say that I'm his student, then I have to continue. I can't wither even in the face of
That's
my
right.
own challenges.
Come on now. Come on.
Beautiful.
And as as we reach the top of the hour, I can't think of a more appropriate exchange than what we've just heard from our brother. It is absolutely essential that we determine to move through this Ramadan.
Mhm.
I'm going to give it to you, Sister Tisha. You know she's going to handle the business now, but I want to say this before we get a final word from our brother. Can't call him a guest because he's at home, but I want to say this, brother. You talked about some things, and I'm sure people are bearing witnesses. I see Brother Harold from Greensboro, and Sister
Yeah.
Latrice is in here bearing witness. Sherelle Campbell Robinson is here. Everybody's in here bearing witness and saying this is some powerful talk because it touches on the universalities of life. Everybody, if you ain't been through something, you going to go through something. Just keep on living. Like everybody, Big Mommy say, just keep on living, boy. Because sooner or later you'll experience something that's going to make you call on the God to answer you and help you guide, be guided through it. I'm going to turn you over to, and we'll be back with a closing word from our brother Demetric Muhammad in just a moment. But I want to turn you over to Sister Tisha. She has more information for you, more to do, and we're going to be back with some more exciting announcements after this. Sister Tisha?
All right. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in to another edition. This was a great one. It's powerful. There's a lot turning over in this head of mine right now. Very good. Very powerful. Thank you so much, Brother Minister. But at this time, just before we go, guys, I want to remind everybody to go over to YouTube. Help us spread this platform far and wide. We want you to like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and then go over to Facebook and do the same. Nothing but the truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Hit like, share, and subscribe and help us further the platform out. And then remember, if there are any topics that you want to see discussed, make sure you put that in the chat. This platform is for all of us. It is a nice, safe space for us to stretch out and show what Allah has blessed us with,
That's
right?
That's right.
So if there's something you want to talk about, something you want to share, make sure you put that in the chat and we'll try to get that done for you, okay? And don't forget, our Cash App is $BROWORKS. Bro Works. All right.
All right. And we thank you. We thank you so very much.
Oh, I got to say hi to Vivi and
Hey,
JT.
hey, Vivian. Those are the babies out there in Northwest Arkansas. That's niece Vivi and nephew JT and the whole family. We're out there and we appreciate what we're hearing tonight. Brother Demetric, you bring families together. You bring brothers and sisters together from all this broad geography and all these places where people are tuning in from. You have given a message that has joined us together. Any parting thoughts that you have for us that we need to take with us as we go to the Elevated Places program with Dr. Ava tonight? What do we need to take with us?
I would just extend my deepest gratitude to you, Brother Student Minister Jamil, and your lovely wife, Sister Tisha, and your families. We are so honored to have had this privilege to be with you tonight and to witness all of those families that you reference come together just to hear, a few thoughts that we are sharing. And I pray that we have shared something that has been beneficial to those that have been so gracious and kind to give us some of their time tonight. I'm looking forward to the next occasion that we can be together. And again, much thanks and gratitude to you all. And I pray that everyone that is listening will go to the Cash App and make a donation. Our brother and sister are endeavoring to provide for us quality programming that gives to us that which we can't get from Netflix or Fox or CNN. They're giving to us something very special, and so they deserve our support. So I want to encourage anybody that has enjoyed what I have had to say to make sure that you follow the Cash App or whatever means and methods that Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha have established to support this work so they can grow it and expand it, because this kind of content, I'm praying that one day they'll have a show on 7 days a week. They won't just be coming to us on Thursday evening, but we can reach out and tune in on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, and Monday. But in order to do that, they need your support. So, Brother Minister and Sister Tisha, thank you so much for having me on, and I pray that we get invited to come back at some point.
Right.
You don't have to get invited to come home. You just come when you get ready. Here, we'll leave the light on the porch for you, and the key is under the petunia pot out there on the porch.
Sure
Okay.
is.
All
Make sure
praises
you
due
come
to
on home
Allah.
whenever you get ready. Brothers and sisters, this is going to do it for us tonight. We thank Allah for you, and we thank Allah that you took the time to be with us. If you want to contact us, go to www.nbttpodcast.com. That's nothing but the truth podcast, nbttpodcast.com. And you can find a way to connect with us. We want to make sure we stay connected. I'm not Al Green, but let's stay together, okay? Let's stay together. It's a little Memphis thing for you there, brother.
You're not who?
I'm not Al Green.
Thank Allah.
Yeah, we think. You might want to go to the soul music. So in love with you.
That's a heart. We love y'all.
Whatever you want to do.
Assalamualaikum.
Well, Brother
See you next
Jamil, remind me the next time we come on, I'll start off talking about my experience of listening to Al Green with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
There it
We'll
is.
say that for next
We
time.
got to talk about that next time.
Sean said there's grits on the stove.
You
It's on the
never
stove if you
do that to me.
Bye,
Would you back
bye, family. See you
Be
next week.
for
Assalamualaikum.
around you?
Mystery man.
All I See you.
I'm like, Brother Minister.